Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the January Student of the Month. Happy New Year. At this time, I'm Mary Walters. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of the Murrieta Valley Unified School District. At this time, I would like to invite up Cameron Stevens to lead us in the prayer to start our event today.
Good morning. Would you do me a favor? Would you mind standing for this time? And on behalf of Student Venture Club, just want to congratulate all the seniors this morning. Well done. Congratulations. This is an awesome event, so I'm glad you guys are part of this. Let's open our morning in a word of prayer. Father, we thank you so much for this morning and what it represents. Lord, the opportunity to gather together as a community, as family and friends, to surround these students and lift them up and encourage them and hear from them and all that they've been able to accomplish this year. Lord, and as they continue to strive towards their goals and all that you have laid out before them, Lord, I pray that you would just bless them with continued wisdom and discernment and discretion, Lord, as they plan for their future, as they decide where to go after high school and all that they set their sights on, Lord. May ultimately they rely upon you for the wisdom and strength that they need to continue on in all that they are doing. Lord, thank you for their lives, and I thank you for the teachers, the administrators, the family, and all the support that have surrounded them, Lord. Thank you for blessing them in this community. We give this morning to you now, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
And I'd like to invite up Mayor Kelly Ciarto to lead us in the pledge.
If everybody would join me in saluting our flag to a great nation that we live in. So place your hand over your heart and repeat. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to bring up our founder and sponsor, Sally Myers, to share a little bit about the history and our mission statement.
Good morning! And I know we're towards the end of January, but I still love to say Happy New Year. I missed you in December, so I also am going to say I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. So we are so excited in Murrieta. We started our program in 1995. And so that tells you we have been around for quite some time, and we are very thrilled to welcome all of you here today. Our program has a mission statement, and we are a nonprofit organization, and our mission statement is the same today as when we began. 27 years ago, we started first in Temecula in the 92-93 school year and then moved up to Murrieta in 95. So we're so happy. And I want to share that mission statement with you because if you, as a parent here today or a grandparent, we want you to know how your son or daughter or your grandchild was honored. And so we are a nonprofit organization, and we are recognizing and honoring outstanding high school, college-bound seniors for their character, their love of learning, how our students juggle numerous activities from campus activities to athletics or community service, or how they have persevered through challenging life circumstances, all in a setting that honors God, our country, community, family, and free enterprise. And I don't know where you can go and get all that in one roof, under one roof, but we do it here at Student of the Month. And so students, it's important for you to know that you are not here just because of your grades or a laundry list of community service hours, but you're here because of your heart, your foundation, your passions, how you have made a difference. And so we're going to hear from each of our students today, and we're going to hear their story. We're going to hear from their mentor teacher and one of their family members. And so by the time we leave here today, we're going to know everybody. We're going to know a little bit about a lot of us, and you're going to leave very enriched and inspired. So we are so excited and just want to welcome all of you here today. I'd like to introduce some of our volunteers because, as you know, you're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with, and we have some incredible volunteers that make our program run just so seamlessly. And I'd like to introduce our chair, Llewellyn Fickey, and she is also our scholarship application coordinator. And I don't see Llewellyn here today, but Llewellyn is incredible. Let me just tell you, Llewellyn is incredible. So let's give her a great round of applause. Our co-chair, and she is a new mommy, so she is at home today and actually expecting her third child, but she is the 2002 Murrieta Valley High School Student of the Year. Her name is Jennifer Pham. She's gone off to college. She's now married and starting a young family, and she has a business as well, and she has been chairing our program as well. So we appreciate her. And we have Jerry Selway. She's our scholarship fulfillment coordinator, and she works with me on fulfilling our scholarships. We have Monica Gutierrez, and she is with the Murrieta Valley Unified School District, and Miss Monica does our publicity. She's got her iPad over there. She's taking copious notes, and she'll make sure that every media venue out there knows about you as well. And we have Dan Stake, and Dan is with Alta Pacific Bank. He is one of our great greeters. Look at that smile and that wave, and he's awesome. We also have Rhonda Levine, and Rhonda, it was with Murrieta Valley Unified School District, and she does our communications. I like to say that Rhonda, come stand up out here. She is the voice of our program because she communicates with everyone via email and phone, and so people always get to just read her, just how pleasant you write and how you speak, and everyone just really enjoys you. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. And of course, we have Mary Walters, and she is our MC and coordinator of our program. So Mary, I know everyone has met you, but we just want to say thank you to all that you have done and to our program this year and last year. We also have Derrick Gonzalez with Altura Credit Union. He is a greeter, and he coordinates and puts together our gift bag. So woohoo to that. We like that. And we have Andrea Canichola. She is with Costco, and she's one of our volunteers, and she always loves to come and say hello, and we love Costco, so thank you very much. They also provide a wonderful gift for Student of the Year. We have Lori Litweiler. She works with us as well with Derrick on gifts, and I don't see Lori here today, but we also appreciate Lori. And we have Jennifer Rasmussen and Holly Meserve. They also help us out, and they are unable to be here today. And then we do have Catherine Pepe, and Catherine is with Loma Linda University Medical Center and Temecula Olive Oil Company. So Catherine, I want you to stand up and want to everyone to say say thank you to you for all of your assistance with our program. So thank you. And I believe that's it. So Miss Mary, back to you. Am I missing Andrea? I think I just did Andrea Canichola from Costco. Okay, so we did. Let me just double check my list, because sometimes when you are OLD, you may not see everything. We're good.
You got it.
Thank you.
Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce our students and principals. So from Murrieta Valley High School, we have Principal Mark Pettengill. If you could stand with the student, Chen. Thank you. And from Murrieta Canyon Academy, we have Principal Martina Beach-Hedges and student Anthony Bryceland. From Calvary Christian School, we have Principal Derrick Roth and student Grace Helman. And from Vista Murrieta High School, we have Principal Mick Wager and student Peyton Candaele. And from Murrieta Mesa High School, we have Principal Steve Ellis and student Jolene Chu. And at this time, I would like to invite up Andy Morris, our president from the Murrieta Chamber of Commerce, to share a few words.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm not the president of the chamber, actually. That would be Patrick Ellis, our President and CEO of the Chamber. I'm actually the current past chair for the Chamber of Commerce. And on behalf of our almost 1,000 members of the Wildomar Murrieta Chamber of Commerce, I want to congratulate the students on your achievement of being here today. You know, in business, we have so much going on. And we just love being able to stop for a minute and celebrate our students because they are the next leaders that we hope will come back to our community and give back. And I had a saying here that I saw, and this is from John Maxwell, who Sally absolutely loves. John Maxwell says, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." And so no matter whether you have a 4.2 GPA or you've overcome a challenge, you know, you've shown what it's like to be a leader and be able to show the way to others. And today we're just so happy to be here to honor you guys from the Chamber and just blessed to be able to share this time with you guys. So congratulations.
We'd like to thank Group 1 Production and Stephen Ashby for videotaping today's event. It will be available to view on the Murrieta Valley Unified School District website or through the link in your program. And so let's give a round of applause for Stephen. He's there every month. And this morning, our photographer, Kip Cothran, couldn't be here, but I see that Anthony, our student of the month, walked in with a camera and he said, "Oh, I'll take a few pictures for you, Mrs. Walters." So thank you, Anthony. And then we would like to thank the City of Murrieta providing airtime on Spectrum Cable Channel. So thank you, City. At this time, I'd like to introduce and thank our sponsors. And then at the end, I'll have everyone stand up so we can give them a round of applause. From Abbott, we'd like to introduce Ray Evans. So thank you, Ray. From Alta Pacific Bank, I'd like to thank Dan Stake. From Altura Credit Union, I'd like to thank Derrick Gonzalez and Joshua Smith. From Azusa Pacific University, Nedchelli Rodriguez. From Bechet Enterprises, we have Lucy Stanucci and Gilmar Bartolone. And from Sizeler Restaurants, we have Sally Myers. From Cal State University San Marcos, Elizabeth Erickson. From Calvary Murrieta Christian High School, Derrick Roth. From the City of Murrieta, Mayor Kelly Ciarto. From DCH Auto Group, Al Rubio. From Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District, we have Andy Morris, Brian Macy, and John Vega. From Farmers Insurance, we have Andy Morris. We have Mr. and Mrs. Patrick Kelly. From King Law Firm, we have Sasha Scove. From Lone Melinda University Medical Center, Catherine Pepe. From Mount San Jacinto College, we have Mary Lou Dillard and Morris Myers. From Richie's Real American Diner, Linda Williams. From the Rotary Club of Murrieta, Jackie Dobbins. From Southwest Healthcare, we have Emily Varche and Arlene Beckton. From Temecula Olive Oil Company, Catherine Pepe. From Witch Superior Sandwiches, we have Sandy Word and Danny Kessler. So if we could have all of our sponsors stand so we can give you a round of applause. And if you take a look in the program, you see the entire list of sponsors. We are so grateful and thankful for all of the sponsors because they make this program possible on a monthly and yearly basis. So students, as part of the Student of the Month, you are eligible to apply for the Student of the Year. And so you should be getting that application very shortly if you haven't already, and you will compete against only the other student of the months from your school. So you have like a 1 in 10 chance. And with that comes a Student of the Year breakfast and a scholarship. So you can see the entire list of scholarship sponsors in your program. And then now we're going to move to the most important part, the best part of the whole program, which is why we are here. We're going to listen to our student presentations. You will hear examples of character, college choice, and future plans. The students will share their heartfelt stories with you today. You will quickly understand why they were chosen as Students of the Month. Remember, your time limit is 5 minutes. I always talk to the principals about that. The principal has a minute. Student has a couple of minutes, the teacher has a minute, and the family has a minute. Students, when you come forward, please bring your family and guests with you. They'll stand with you on this side. and then we'll have the principal and the teacher stand on the other side. Guests save a dry corner of your napkins for the heartfelt student presentations. Students, try to relax and speak clearly into the microphone. Remember, we're all friends here. And then make sure that you stand close together so that way Stephen can get you in the picture. So at this time, I am going to invite up Murrieta Valley High School Principal Mark Pettengill and student Jay Chen.
Hey, good morning. Excited to get the day going here. It's my pleasure to introduce Murrieta Valley High School Sizeler Student of the Month for January, Jay Chen. Jay was born in Taiwan and came to the United States when he was 3 years old with his parents and his brother Hans. They settled in Murrieta. Jay attended Coal Canyon Elementary School before switching over to Van Avery Prep for middle school and back to Murrieta Valley High School when he started his high school journey. Jay is currently number 1 in his class. If he keeps up this pace, I think he'll be our valedictorian. It's not official yet. He joins a growing list of former Van Avery Prep students, including last year's valedictorian and close friend Jeffrey Kim, who have been top scholars at our school. He has been involved in speech and debate, Science Olympiad, National Honor Society, while taking many advanced placement and international baccalaureate classes. For the last 2 years, he has run the Ragnar Relays for charity with many of our IB and AP students and Miss Inouye, and on one occasion me. Maybe never again. Jay is near fluent in 3 languages, English, Mandarin, and Spanish, which he has taken since the 3rd grade. He was instrumental in starting the ping pong club. As a freshman, Jay went on a humanitarian trip to a rural community in Nepal, where he learned to appreciate the privileged lifestyle that he has. Mr. Guerrero, his Spanish teacher, says Jay Chen is a great young man, smart, respectful, diligent, hardworking, funny, and amiable. I really enjoy having him in my AP Spanish class. He is a great example of doing everything the right way, with respect, integrity, teamwork, and excellence. I proudly introduce to you the Murrieta Valley High School's top student and our Sizeler Student of the Month for January, Jay Chen.
So, good morning. I'm Jay Chen, and first off, I would like to thank all of the sponsors for putting on this fine event this morning. This is my father, Paul Chen, and my mother, Ping Chen Lee, and English teacher, Miss Inouye. Together, and with many others, they have helped me get to where I am today, including receiving this fine award. My teacher, Miss Inouye, actually convinced me to do Ragnar 2 years ago, and her words are that I looked at her as if she was crazy when she first asked me. I never thought I'd be running a relay race, 15 miles and across about 24 hours in 3 loops, and one of them was actually overnight, and I nearly ran with Dr. P, but the timing was just a little off. So obviously I'm really grateful for Miss Inouye, and becoming physically fit enough to run that marathon or relay race was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I'd like to thank my parents, obviously, for helping me point me in the academic track I've been on, and making me realize that I wanted work in the medical field when I grow older. So most likely I'll be attending Case Western Reserve University and going on track to medical school. I believe that if I become a doctor or a biomedical engineer, I can greatly help improve the world. And starting from my freshman year when I went to Nepal, I realized that many people in the world have far less privileges than we do. And I realized that education should be something that all students, all young kids can look forward to. This trip really humbled me and made me realize that everything we have in Murrieta is really a blessing, and I'm really grateful for everything that we have here. Once again, I'd like to thank all the sponsors for making this event possible. And that's it. Thank you. And then this is Miss Inouye, who's going to speak.
So Jay is obviously a stellar student academically. He has a perfect transcript, #1 in his class without avoiding challenges. I had him in AP English language as a sophomore, and he did a great job. He was a superstar, and then I have the honor of having him again in IB English this year. But it's obvious that he is academically strong. But what's not on paper are all those qualities that Sally mentioned. I think true leadership and integrity are so important to make for a better human being, not just a stellar student. So building on his whole Ragnar experience, I knew he was great academically, and I thought, well, this would be a really neat challenge, and I have full faith that he can do it, because he can do anything he puts his mind to. And so he did help me this year. He was a team captain. He helped lead 6 teams, 48 runners. Through each team had to tackle 120 miles, some in the dead of night. And around the clock you run, and it's for charity. We raise money for local charities. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest, as a teacher, it is a little daunting to have 48 students running through the hills in the middle of the night without me present. But I could fall asleep in my tent because I literally could hear Jay at our campsite. He was monitoring the 6 boards that we have, 1 per team, making sure that the appropriate student was up at 2 a.m., ready to run in the tent, so that particular student would not let their team down. So I had 2 teachers who were also up and covering those shifts, and on the drive home, they told me, I don't even know why I was there. Jay had it totally under control. And so, I mean, that speaks to his leadership, even when not everyone is watching him, like in the dead of night. And as far as integrity goes, I really believe that what we do behind closed doors when people aren't watching really shows who we are. And during spring break, I got an email from Jay and a couple other students, and he took the lead, and he shared that there was some academic dishonesty happening in a chat room, and to be brave and take that step when you know what is happening is wrong. It's very rare, I just have to say. And as a teacher, I respect that. The students who come forward and do what's right, they are opening themselves up to social ostracism, to bullying. But he knew that there are students out there that would appreciate his actions. And so he took that risk. And so I applaud him. He represents the best of Murrieta Valley High School, the best of our district. He's brilliant. He's unafraid of doing what is right and taking on challenges. And it was my honor to have been his teacher. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Jay's father, Paul. Very nice to meet you, and it's very honored to be standing here to watch Jay to accept the Student of the Month award. It has been honor to me, and I know this speech has to be very short. So basically, family of 4 came to Murrieta about 13 years ago. And then all I have is I want to fulfill my American dream, which is very popular recently, right? So over these years, I'm still working on that. But I can see Jay is on the right path. At the moment, you probably heard Dr. P say that he is joining the club in the Science Olympiad and the Ragnar. So from I heard from his colleagues and his peers, I can know he actually is on the right path. His leadership actually is what I always tell him the most. Academic success is okay, but from my work experience, basically the leadership, the initiative is most important of all. Especially without the leadership, when you work on things, you won't have a passion. So this is always I will encourage the young men. If for today's every student is when you go out of school, make sure you work with people with respect, but most of all is when you work on things, you need to work with passion. Only passion will get you the way to what you're supposed to be or what you want it to be. Again, so this is short talk. I appreciate the time Murrieta, everyone given us, and I want to thank God to give us. I have such honor and to have Jay with me. Thank you so much.
Okay. Next up to the podium is Calvary Christian High School Principal Derrick Roth.
All right, good morning. My name is Derrick Roth. I'm the principal at Calvary Murrieta Christian Schools, and it is my amazing pleasure to introduce to you Grace Helman, who is our Student of the Month, and we are so proud of her. She is an amazing young lady, and I don't even know where to start with her. I mean, she's just such a blessing in our school. We're going to miss her so deeply. She leads worship at our Square One, which is our chapel each week, and her beautiful voice as she praises the Lord will be deeply missed. But there's so much more to her also, and as with every student that comes through our program, when they're granted the opportunity to become Student of the Month, I ask them for their favorite verse. And really this explains a lot about who Grace is. Grace told me that her favorite verse is John 16:33, and I'll read that for you. It says, "I have said these things to you," this is Jesus speaking, "that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." And this is right when Jesus is end of his life and right before the crucifixion, and he's speaking to the disciples, and he's just told them that they're all going to abandon him, they're all going to leave him, and he says, "Have peace." And that's really represented for me when I see Grace live out her life at Calvary. I see the peace of Christ in her, and she just emulates that to the students around her. The joy that she has of just being able to be at school and to serve students, to be a mentor, to be an amazing young lady who people want to listen to. She is our pride and joy at Calvary, and we're going to miss her, like I said before, deeply. But enough from me. Let's hear from Grace.
So, hello, this is my mom, Mia, and this is my teacher, Mr. Bell. And so, as I ponder on the question, what is the most significant life lesson I have learned and will take to college, I cannot help but remember my trip to Haiti in February 2017. There I learned one of the most important lessons, humility accompanied by true selfless love. As I arrived in Haiti with no knowledge of the hardships and joys I would face, I stood there with amazement, realizing the poverty that was evidently before me. Children with joys in their eyes, yet no souls in their shoes. Laughter heard for miles, but no possessions laid before them. What a strange sight. During the week, I had the privilege to teach the children English and share the love of Jesus with them as well. Almost immediately, I was welcomed with open arms by the children and staff of the school. All the children wanted to do was to play with me, braid my hair, and welcome me as family. I distinctly remember one school where the children were eating lunch, which was most likely their only meal of the day. But as soon as I walked in, they all offered me a bite of their food. This small gesture blew me away with how much kindness they carried in their hearts. The children put others before themselves, even when they had no home, let alone food to come back to. In that moment, the first life lesson hit me. If these starving children in Haiti can put others before themselves, how much more can I give to myself to others? It is a simple question that is difficult to live out in this materialistic world. Continuing throughout the week, the team had the privilege to go to Missionaries of Charity, which is where the dying children come when they are severely sick. As I entered the building, I saw sick children breathing their last and others barely holding on to life. That is when I decided that I was to become a missionary nurse and help those children who needed medical help and love. These children throughout the week portrayed Christ's unconditional love to me and forever changed my life and perspective. Look past the materialistic mindset that so many have and begin to selflessly love others. Jesus' love and compassion was seen in Haiti and will forever live on. While I transition into the college mindset, I will keep in mind the most valuable lesson the children taught me. Think about others before your own desires and truly show Jesus' love and kindness towards each other, because that is what life is all about. I will be attending CBU and enroll in their College of Nursing. Thank you to the sponsors and for supporting me, and thank you, audience, for listening. Thank you. And here's Jason Bell.
What's cool is I didn't even hear her speech, and you're going to hear a lot of that in mine. So let me just start off by saying that Grace is one of the most joyful people I've ever known. I don't think I've ever seen her have a bad day. I'm sure that she has, but you would never catch her without a smile on her face. And every time she responds to classmates and teachers, it's with a smile. She's one of those students you wish you had 100 of. She's also an incredible active in our community. She's part of our National Honor Society. She's also worship leader, missions team leader, junior high leader for her church. And if you can catch the common word in all of that, it's leader. The Apostle Paul was one of the greatest leaders in the Christian church. And in his letter to the Corinthians, he said, "Imitate me because I imitate Christ." And that's a bold statement. Not a lot of Christians can say that, and for that I am sorry. But it's the epitome of who Grace is. To her peers, she could say, "Imitate my actions. Honor those who are put in authority over you." To our staff, she could say, "Imitate the respect that I have for others, how I treat everyone the same, how I don't show favoritism." And to the world, she could say, "Imitate the love that I have, not just for the needs of those around me, but for the needs of the world, how I care about others more than I care about myself," and she truly does. She can say, "Imitate me because I want to be like Christ." And for our school, that's what a leader looks like. So congratulations on Student of the Month. I can introduce her mom. This is Miss Helman.
Well, I just want to thank you all so much for the nomination. Thank you, honey. I'm a little short, sorry. I not only have the privilege of having her as my daughter, I am also a teacher at Calvary, and so I get to see her so much this year, so I'm going to really miss her. But thank you for the nomination and the recognition of what she has done. We are all sitting here because we all agree that character and integrity count. It is who you are, is what I tell Grace when no one is watching. It is the you that chooses to go that extra mile, the attention giving to the hurting, and the time spent on doing an assignment well. It is said that goodness is about character. It's integrity, it's honesty, it's kindness, it's generosity, it's moral courage, and the like. More than anything else, however, it is about how we treat others. So today, it is really her kindness and her commitment to excellence that makes her a leader. She has chosen empathy over sympathy. She has chosen love over hate. And she has chosen academic integrity over mediocrity. We are extremely proud of you. Dad was unable to be here today, but we are just amazed at the young lady that she has become and embrace really what the future holds both for her academically and spiritually. Thank you so much.
All right, next up we have Murrieta Canyon Academy and Martina Beach-Hedges, principal.
So Anthony can't take pictures of himself, but we'll figure this out. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the other students who are here. And I just want to say it's, I know Steve says this, Ella says this every day, but this is my actually favorite part of the day and part of the month. And to celebrate students, but particularly students like Anthony. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So at MCA, we talk about connecting with students and supporting students. And when we talk about what we do in education, that's what we want to do. We want to connect, we want to support, and we need to have patience. And when we think of Anthony, that's what we have to think about. Because when Anthony came to us as a freshman, I've known him for 4 years, and it's my pleasure to know him. But I've known him for 4 years. He was a shutdown student. He came to our independent study program, and not that he didn't do anything, but let's just say he struggled. But it was because of what he went through and has gone through in his life that he was shut down, and education wasn't important to him. And I was lucky enough to meet him, and I was lucky enough to meet Mom, and then Stephanie. And I have to say that it's because he didn't really know how to do education, I would say. He hadn't had the support. He hadn't had the patience to understand. And I think it was one of the principals had talked about at our last one about gems in our valley and the students who are gems. Well, we have hidden gems at MCA, and it just takes a little bit of patience, support, and connecting, and that's what we did. We moved Anthony to our daily program and got him kind of situated with some teachers that we knew that would be so supportive of him. But just given a little time and support and encouragement, Anthony has just blossomed, and he's here today because he is now our go-to student. He's a senior at our school who does all of our photography, every event. And when I say every event, he comes to us and say, hey, aren't we doing this next month? Can I be the photographer? I'm like, we don't even have to ask. He comes to us. He takes care of our, we have a video in the front, TV. He takes care of that for us. Over winter break, when most kids are wanting to sleep in, Anthony was at our school, beautifying our school, digging out weeds and digging out old stumps of trees and putting in new dirt and all that. That was Anthony. Anything we have to do, he's in my office. He just walks in like it's his office. Hey, Miss Beach, I need to get a water. Hey, Miss Beach, I just wanted to say hey. Hey, Miss Beach. Like, he is in my office probably more than I am. And not that I mind, because I adore this kid. Just because he is just shining at this point, and I know that with everything he's gone to, most people would have counted him out, and most people would have, he would have counted himself out, but he's an amazing young man. I know he's really anxious right now about talking, but I just want to say to you, he's so amazing when he talks. He's part of our LCAP. He's part of my LCAP team student group, and then he's my LCAP representative at the district speeches with Mrs. Walters, and she can attest, like, he always comes, again, he comes to my office before our meeting, and he says, Miss Beach, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, well, we can talk about this. And he's like, okay, I got it. We go to the meetings, and he is just like, I don't even have to speak. Like, it's all in his hands, and he's so eloquent and so amazing. I just wish he saw what we all see in him, and that's why he's our student of the month, because I just know that, I hope I know, and I've become pretty good friends with his mom, Stephanie, and with her heart and everything. He's an amazing kid because of how she's raised him, but I hope I know what happens to him in 10 years and 15 years, and because I just know he's just going to continue to soar. So to introduce you, Anthony Bryceland.
Hello, everyone. First, I'd just like to thank all the sponsors here in the chamber and the district. I'm not very good at speaking, but I'll try my best. Back freshman year, I'd say at the lowest point in my life. I was very antisocial. I didn't want help from anybody. I didn't want to come to school. It was not good. With the help of my principal, Ms. Beach, and the other teachers at the school, Murrieta Canyon, I was able to come to school, and work hard and put others before myself. For the most part, I'd say I do that a lot. I'm not very good at talking, sorry, but I like to help others more than I help myself, because I feel like if you're someone who can help others and help them grow and get them where they need to be, it'll make you, I don't know, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I do a lot of the speaking and talking at the district. I would always go there for the LCAP committee. Sorry, I'm super anxious. I'm not very good at talking. I've always been involved in extracurricular activities. I've never really been one to kind of sit in the classroom and just kind of pay attention. I always be up asking questions, trying to be inquisitive, learn more when I had the opportunity to at MCA, and I've always learned or whatever that no matter where you come from or what you do, there's always something that you can do better, and that's what I try and do every day. Is I wake up and I try and do something better, whether it be for myself, my family, the school, or the people in my community. And what I want to try and do after high school is get into some type of photography or computer science, or just something that'll let me help people, just like bring the future forward and kind of, I don't know, bring everyone together, I guess. Thank you. I'd like to introduce one of my favorite teachers, Miss Scott.
So a little known fact about Anthony is he is like our technological guru on campus. So my speech is on my phone because I know if I mess it up, he can help me. So I just met Anthony this school year. Now I knew who he was prior to this. Everybody on our campus does. As Ms. Beach said, Anthony is the man on our campus. He's the heart of MCA. He himself has a huge heart and empathy for others, which I think you can tell already. He naturally looks out for the underdogs. And on our campus, we have a lot of underdogs. So Anthony is like the protector, and he will just take the initiative. He's charismatic. He's a natural-born leader, even if he doesn't think he is and doesn't realize it. He will take the initiative to go find the new student on campus, like as soon as they walk on campus, and greet them and help them and acclimate them to the campus. I feel very fortunate that I've gotten to know Anthony this year. He's become invaluable to me. He's my go-to person on campus, I think all of ours. He's my right hand in all things technological, and anything related to our newspaper. We just started a newspaper this year, and we've only put 2 editions out, and I would not have been able to do any of that without Anthony. He is the driving force, the lifeblood of the newspaper. He's the photo editor, he's the main photographer, but he's much more than that. Like Ms. Beach said, he knows, he's so plugged into everything on campus, he automatically, like he did today, brings his camera everywhere with him and just starts taking pictures of events and happenings on campus that I didn't even know were happening. And then he'll come to me and say, hey, Mrs. Scott, look, I got all these great pictures. And I was like, I didn't even know that was happening on campus today. So the newspaper would not exist without Anthony. He's just been invaluable. And he is an amazingly talented photographer. He's become an amazing photojournalist. He can take simple, ordinary pictures and turn them into works of art. And it's just unbelievable. He often comes to me with, like I said, ideas and things for the newspaper that I hadn't even thought of, that the editors hadn't even thought of. He's also a technology guru on our campus. He's the one person on campus that I will call, other teachers and say, can you just send Anthony here for 2 minutes because I can't get this to work. He does everything, and all the teachers use him and utilize his skills like that. And again, he's so willing to help and has such a big heart, and he's so plugged into what's happening that he often comes to offer his help, and you didn't even realize you needed that help until he's came to offer it. So just like today when he jumped in and started taking pictures and just does what Anthony naturally does. He's a very special student. To say he's going to be missed at our school, I think is a a huge understatement. We were joking earlier that we need to get his phone number next year because I will be calling him, Anthony, I can't get the projector. Anthony, I can't do this. Can you come take some pictures for the newspaper, please? He has such a bright future just because of who he is as a person and his huge heart and his character. I know he's going to go on to do big things. His challenge, though, is going to be narrowing it down to 1, 2, 3 things to do, because Anthony is intelligent, but he also has a wide variety of skills and talents. Computer science, technology, art, photography. He's a good writer. He can do a lot of things. He's going to have a hard time narrowing it down. But I can't wait to see what he does, and you better keep me informed on all your adventures. Very proud of you.
Oh boy. So like Miss Beach said, we went through a lot. I'm not gonna get into details, but it was hard. And I have to be honest, while there's some of the, mayor and stuff, I had a lot of hard time trying to find the help that he needed. And so I've actually talked to you a few times about we need more mental health platforms and help in the schools. But with that being said, they've been amazing. I also have to thank the Chamber. Unfortunately, Patrick and Rhonda aren't here, but if it was not for the Chamber with my business, I don't think that we would be where we are today with our business, but it's helped me network, and they've watched him grow up and given him opportunities with different charity work, and we've seen some of that stuff, and I think that just kind of helps put him where he is today. I'm not that great at speaking either, but I'm just super proud of him. He just we've come a long way in the last 4 years, and I just can't wait to see what he does in the future.
Get a picture real quick.
Oh my gosh, you're so kind.
Would that be okay?
So have it set up so.
Just looking there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
amazing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's great. I'm not a photographer, but hopefully this is good. All right.
Did you guys plan to be color coordinated?
No, we didn't. But that's how much we're connected. I'm just saying, MCA, we're all about making connections.
Thank you. But I just want to say about Anthony, and so thank you for taking that picture, because he would rather be behind the camera instead of in front of it. And he's like, Miss Beach, don't ask anyone to take the picture. So thank you, so nice of you. With further ado, let's introduce or have come up Vista Murrieta High School's principal, Mr. Mick.
Thank you, Miss Hipp. You stole my opening icebreaker there, so I was going to talk about their color coordination.
Sorry, I
so
stole your line.
That's it. It ruined everything. Everyone got to scoot in nice and tight.
Yeah, we should balance it out.
Yeah.
I'm all alone over here.
It is not always easy to be a staff member's kid. I've had kids in my school. These are the Candaeles. They both work at our school, and sometimes people think, when you get a certain accolade or you get whatever, you're selected for this or that. That there are others out there who might think, it's because you're a staff member. Because everyone knows you. Of course, you got that honor. But that's not always. Not always. That's never the case. And sometimes when when it's my own son, not really. But it's like other things in life. You want to make sure that kid or your kid plays for you on a team or something. That your child or the child you're picking, the staff member's kid, better be like above and beyond because, and in this case, Peyton certainly is. Some might argue also that a student, our student of the month, Peyton Candaele, was a shoo-in to be a champion runner, which she is, highly successful in the classroom, which she is. They might say, of course, it's in her genes. Look at her parents. They're both champions and championship coaches. And by the way, her mom's an awesome high school counselor, and she's got it all, and it's in the genes and all that. But Peyton has worked very hard for what she has, and it's because of her efforts and what she has put into it, why she is so successful. Since she's an athlete, athletes love stats, so I'm going to give you some stats. She's 16th in her class of 864 with a GPA of 4.37. She's never earned less than an A in her classes in her time at high school, and she's taken 11 advanced placement and college dual enrollment courses, so she's really challenged herself there as well. To show how successful she can be, a wide range, she scored a 5 on her AP calculus test, as well as a 5 on her AP English composition. So she's not just a math gal, and Mrs. Hipp was her teacher and takes all the credit. Once again, it's not just about being naturally good at something and just being that math person or whatever. She really works very hard to achieve what she's achieved. Speaking of winning, Peyton has been on the Bronco varsity cross country and track teams all 4 years. She was the cross country captain this year, and she led her team to second place in the state, beat out for first place by Great Oak. I'll get back to them in a second. Then she and her team went on to the Nike Cross Nationals, which is the national championship. She went with her team first time in her school's history to that championship, and our girls cross country team took 7th in the nation, beating out some incredible competition, including Great Oak. But we don't focus on that. We focus on our own kind. We don't look at the other teams. But anyway, also congratulations to all the Candaeles for that. She was selected first team all-league in cross country in 2016, 17, and 18. In track, Peyton holds the sophomore and junior record in the 800 and was the only female runner last year to move on to the CIF finals. At Vista, she's won the Scholar Athlete Award for the last 3 years. And Peyton has also been in student leadership, serving in our student, and by the way, I can go on and on there, her parents they can tell you her times and all that stuff, but it really, it's like, I don't know that time, that sounds fast. Peyton has also been in student leadership, serving in our student senate all 4 years. She's been the special needs commissioner, organizing lunches and events for our special student population. She has volunteered at Special Olympics and was a counselor for Summer Growth Institute held at Murrieta Mesa. This year, Peyton is organizing our Scholar Bowl, which is a huge logistical and organizational undertaking where 64 student teams compete in a quiz show type competition over a few weeks. And it's a major it culminates in a big event in front of the entire school. So it's a lot to handle. And she's leading that effort. Despite all of this, Peyton flies under the radar, as we say. She does not self-promote. She does not brag. She is humble and a quiet champion, letting her wins and her record tell the story. And she may have gotten that from her parents, because her parents are exactly that way. And when I see her on campus, she's always smiling. And by all accounts, she's a joy in the classroom, which Mrs. Hipp can talk about, a great friend to others, and an even better sister. Even though they're both incredibly competitive, and by the way, they're both on the same cross-country team, and her parents are the coaches, so I don't even know what the dinner conversation is. Peyton represents all tenets of our motto of class: character, leadership, attitude, scholarship, and service. She's got those things down, and she is a perfect choice as our Vista Murrieta's Senior Student of the Month. I am honored to know her, honored to know the family, and pleased to introduce Peyton Candaele.
I just wanted to thank Mr. Wager for the lovely speech. That was very nice. Thank you.
You're
welcome. My name is Peyton Candaele, and with me today I have my mom and dad, who are also my coaches, and I also have my grandparents, Susie and Frank Hickox, and I brought them all, invited them, because they're just like my biggest supporters in my life. And I also brought my AP Lang teacher, Mrs. Hipp, because she has continuously inspired me inside and outside the classroom. So for me, high school has really been an adventure with new trials and triumphs around every turn. I've had the opportunity to meet some of the most dedicated individuals on campus and make some memories that'll last a lifetime. One of the most impactful experiences I've had so far was through my involvement with the special needs students. They have given me a whole new perspective on life and shown me how differences can unite a community and campus. Their constant positivity in the face of adversity inspired me to take on the special needs commissionership at our school, where my commissioners and I put on a homecoming dance for them. In addition, we were able to help a club on campus called the Circle of Friends. that focused on creating connections and friendships between the general education students and special needs students. The club caused our campus to bond together and create an even playing field where differences were not seen as disadvantages. Additionally, as a freshman, I became involved with the varsity cross country and track team. The girls on the team became my second family, where we shared triumph and defeat. We united through the motivation to achieve our goals, and whatever we set out to do, nothing can get in our way. I had the honor of being voted captain of our team for my last cross-country season, where we engraved our names into school history as the first team from Vista to ever run at the Nike Cross Nationals. The experiences I gained from being part of this team are irreplaceable, and their commitment allowed me to soar to new heights. Right now, I'm currently on the final process of committing to college to run Division I cross-country and track, where I'll either be attending Cal Poly San Luis Obispo or Oregon State. I'll be majoring in biochemistry in hopes of one day becoming a forensic toxicologist. I want to thank everyone who's supporting me on my journey, and I couldn't be here without them. Also, a huge thank you to the sponsors and to all the people who made this event possible. Thank you. And next speaking is Mrs. Hipp.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm Mrs. Hipp, and I am Peyton's English teacher, and I'm so happy to be here this morning. And something that I really want to express about Peyton, and this is going to sound really strange, is that I feel like in the time that I've known her, I've kind of become a fangirl. Like, I quietly just watch her from afar, and we share a lot of parallels that I think she knows, but we don't really talk about very often, that we both grew up running and that we share a passion for running and the sport and nature and just being outdoors. And those are things that I really connect to. But when I see Peyton in my classroom and I see her just living her life on campus and among family members, I realize that one difference that we share is that she does everything through such a lens. Like, so many people that are close to her in her life see her and watch her every day. Mm-hmm. You know, her family members, her sibling, she's under a microscope in a way, and in a way that a lot of teenagers, I think, would feel a lot of pressure. You would never see that pressure in Peyton. I never see her break down in a way that she doesn't seem stressed by it. She just handles things with such a poise and grace that I think to myself, wow, she has transcended her age, and her maturity level is so beyond her years. And there's such a poise to who she is and how she handles herself. And I just have to applaud her, and I have to applaud her family, because you've all done such a wonderful job in raising such a beautiful young woman. And on a personal note, I have 2 young daughters, and if I can raise my daughters to be half the young lady that Peyton is, I will feel like I have succeeded in something. And I just can't attest enough to what a wonderful person she is. And in my classroom, I love watching her, both as my TA this year, where she's just unyielding in any requests that I have for her. But last year, what I really saw grow in her was the spirit of creativity and learning, and the spirit to go outside the horizon of whatever was requested of her. She would take prompts and respond to them in nuanced ways that not a lot of students would. And I applaud her for thinking outside the box and challenging herself to go beyond what the average student would. And so I could go on and on about Peyton. So I will stop myself now, but I just can't wait to see what you do with your future. I know you'll be successful, and I hope you come back and share your stories and your successes with us. So thank you so much. And here are our parents.
Good morning. Very rarely do you get the opportunity to talk about a student of yours and your daughter. And it's been a special time. For 24 years, I spent as a teacher, coach, inspiring everyone else's kids, motivating everybody else's kids, and trying to make a difference in the lives of everyone else's kids. 3 years ago, I gave up coaching football so I can coach cross country. And coaching your daughter is different than coaching everyone else's kids. I really learned the word patience. And what I did find out was how incredible of a daughter I have. And her care for others I knew was always there, but
but it was just, at a different level than everybody else. Her ability, her integrity to do things the right way was just different. And what I went into 3 years ago thinking I was going to make a difference in her life, in reality, she changed my life. So, thank you very much, Peyton.
All right, thank you. And after this, we're going to have putting together a relay team. I have mine, so if anyone wants to put one together, Mrs. Inouye, Jay, you're welcome. It's going to be right out there in the parking lot. So, thank you. And we can place bets too. All right, next up we have Murrieta Mesa with Mr. Steve Ellis.
Side note, I'm not at all surprised by your success in track. I remember your little sister and my youngest were on the same soccer team. And I think you were in 4th grade and you would just run around the field. Like, just keep running. It's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, and Dr. P, I have also done a Ragnar, and I've never in my life wished I had some Candaele genes in me. Because I didn't run it. It was a shuffle at best. But anyway. Good morning and Happy New Year. My name is Steve Ellis, and I'm the principal at Murrieta Mesa High School, where I'm privileged to get to work with incredible students like the young woman you're about to meet. I would like to start by thanking Sally, Jennifer, Llewellyn, and all of the sponsors for making this such a great event in our community. As Martina already stole my words, it is my favorite morning every single month to come here and hear these stories and just celebrate the goodness of education and families in our community. I would also like to thank and congratulate all of the other students, your families, and educators here. It does take a team, and we get to witness the product of that today, so it's always a joy for me. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Murrieta Mesa Senior of the Month for January, Jolene Chu. I'm going to start with giving a very brief list, just a few of her accomplishments and involvements during her time at Mesa. Jolene is an accomplished student, maintaining over a 4.4 GPA, continuing with ridiculous schedule as a senior, including multiple AP classes. She's ranked either number 1 or 2. I haven't taken the time to balance out the credits to figure out. So she's in band, and so that adds a whole lot of credits. So my guess is number 1, but we shouldn't have recorded that. But anyway, but we'll see. I'll wait till the 12-week mark for that. Jolene has been part of our musical instrument program for all 4 years at Mesa, marching band, concert band. Currently, she's our clarinet section leader. If you were fortunate enough to attend the honor band concert last night, you heard Jolene, along with 80 of her closest friends. She is treasurer of NHS, a member of CSF. Jolene is president of both Key Club and the Chinese Club. She's earned over 200 community service hours, many of which were with the local youth symphony and then the local animal shelter, as well as all the clubs she's involved in all have community service aspects. Jolene is an amazing young lady, and not only is Mesa lucky to have her, but like Jay and his family, Murrieta is fortunate to have her and her family as they moved here from Taiwan when she was 5 years old. According to several teachers who've nominated her and many of the votes I received, Jolene is constantly helping and supporting others. Students are glad they know Jolene, and she's a support system for them. Staff stated over and over how much they enjoy having her in class. As Jolene is very humble and unassuming and soft-spoken, I'm pretty sure she's not even aware of the impact she has on campus, but our staff is aware. They understand that she's a person that others look up to. In band, I'm told to not let her quiet demeanor fool you. She keeps other students in line and pushes them to meet the high expectations of Mr. Greenberg and just the class itself. It's clear she embodies Mesa pride, purpose, responsibility, integrity, duty, and excellence. Mesa's a better place because her family moved here, and she will be leaving a legacy that will not be easily filled. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Jolene Chu.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jolene Chu, and I'd like to start by thanking all the individuals and sponsors who made this event possible. I'm very honored to be here. I'd also like to introduce the people who are here with me today, starting with my parents, Tony and Amy, Mr. Greenberg, who has been my band director for all 4 years of high school, and of course, Mr. Ellis. These individuals have supported me all throughout high school and have inspired me to be the best that I can be. I've always been someone who looks towards the future and not the past. I focus on incomplete to-do lists, upcoming events, and future goals. However, for this event, I was asked to reflect back on the things that I have done. What I soon realized was that I can't easily sum up my life with one event. Instead, I'm a series of connected experiences, and I grow and change with new events and ideas. At 5 years old, I moved to the United States and started learning English, setting up the foundation for all my future experiences. During elementary school, I discovered that I have a passion for math, which eventually led to my career goal. Throughout middle school and high school, I became a bookworm. I read stories ranging from fictional books to historical texts, from the Percy Jackson series to the Federalist Papers, and I learned from experiences and thoughts of other people. All the activities and decisions that I made continue to affect me. The decision to learn clarinet and continue playing through high school has taught me about perseverance and dedication. My leadership roles strengthened my organizational skills and showed me the potential in working with like-minded individuals. And having to balance AP classes, band, and club activities improved my time management skills. My goal is to major in actuarial science at the University of Pennsylvania and become an actuary in the future. I love the logical process behind math and the incredible details that can be uncovered through calculations. My passion for math led me to this career centered around numbers and risk. From here, I'll continue to add to my experiences and grow as a person. Thank you. And next up, I'd like to introduce Mr. Greenberg.
Good morning, everybody. It's truly my honor to be here. She could have selected from an array of AP teachers, and she chose me. So I'm really honored to be here. I've had Jolene for 4 years, like she said a number of times. She's one of 28 seniors that I've had for 4 years. She is one of the very few select that after 4 years we're ready to push them out of the door a little bit. And she's one that I want to be a super senior, and I want her to stay with me. I want her to continue to inspire our students. As you heard from both of them, she goes beyond what the expectation is of like helping others, breaking down, taking pictures of music and writing stuff down for them, saying like, hey, no, this isn't right. Yes, she is very strict, including me. In the ballot that we submit for Student of the Month, I said, Jolene is incredibly smart, way smarter than I ever am and will ever be. In fact, I post my programs for them to check for mistakes, and she does, with red pen. I know what that now feels like. And every post that we post on social media gets corrected. And I truly, I thank her for that, because it just set myself up for success for later, because I just use the same program over and over and over. So I know they're right from here on out. But without her, our program would not be as successful as it was this year. We had an incredible year, and we are really looking forward to our spring semester of festival season. And I know her leadership within not only just the clarinets, but our entire program will be greatly missed next year. We have a saying on our campus that is, leave a legacy. And she truly has left a legacy on our campus, but also in our program. She has set the expectations for our clarinets, as well as all of our leaders, because now the bar is very high. So thank you for everything. I wish you best.
And next, I'd like to introduce my dad.
Good morning. My name is Tony. This is my lovely wife, Amy. I was here for. I'm very proud of my daughter, Jolene, and thanks for the school, and thanks for the sponsor for all the support. And I cannot wait to take pictures. So thank you, everybody.
All right, I think we turn it over to Mary now.
Well, I told you it would be an amazing morning, right? With amazing stories. I mean, the theme I think you all heard is all of our students are extremely humble and have such great integrity and character. So congratulations, and thank you everyone for sharing your wonderful stories. At this time, I'd like to invite up our dignitaries. We have from the City of Murrieta, Mayor Kelly Cierto, from Congressman Ken Calvert's office, Brenda Denstedt, from Senator Jeff Stone's office, John Hunneman, from Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, Alicia Polk, from Supervisor Chuck Washington's office, Nairobi Burks, and from the Murrieta Valley Unified School District, Patrick Kelly. While they are coming up, you have an assignment. How did you think that you were going to come to this and get an assignment? So you have a pile of thank you notes in your backpack that you're going to get. And so with that, this is so you can write thank you notes to all of the sponsors, because all of the sponsors like to get those thank you notes. It inspires us and keeps us motivated to continue to give to the program. But we're going to make it a little easier for you. You do have to write the thank you notes, but there are labels in there, so you don't have to handwrite the addresses. There's labels, and then you can give it to your principal, and they will make sure it gets sent out. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the mayor.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am pleased to be back. And the reason I say I'm back, she talked about Jennifer Pham from earlier, the young lady that's having her third child that's doing all this marvelous stuff, that was Student of the Month in 2002. Guess who was there? Yeah, me. I was back. I was doing this in 2002. So it's great to hear the success of students from way back when that I got to recognize. And so coming here today is special for me because this is the first time I've been back here for probably 12 years. And hearing these great stories from these students. And one thing I want to thank all of you students for is for raising great parents, because you're going to do great things. You're going to finish out your high school year here, and then you're going to go out in the world and set the world on fire. And you're going to leave your parents here in Murrieta. And we like to have good citizens. And it looks like, from what I've heard today, you've all left. You're all leaving great parents and great citizens behind. And with your influence and also encouraging your teachers to keep teaching, because it's students like you that encourage them, and they know because everybody wants to do good things in the world. And when they see the product of their teaching efforts and their counseling efforts, and it really inspires everybody to continue on. So the City of Murrieta, on behalf of the entire city, I'd like to congratulate all of the students. And each of you are getting a certificate for Student of the Month, where it says the City of Murrieta is proud to present the certificate of achievement to whichever student it is. This one happens to be Chen. In honor of the outstanding academic achievement and recognition for the commitment to the accomplished excellence and success. So, and it has a little seal and my signature in blue. So, anyway, but congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to the things that you will do in the future. And again, thanks for leaving behind great parents. Bye.
Good morning, students. My name is Nairobi, and I'm here on behalf of Riverside County Supervisor Chuck Washington to present you with this beautiful certificate. It reads, "In recognition of your outstanding achievement," but really those words don't come close to summing up how extremely, insanely proud we are of you, that we have you in Murrieta. But I really want to encourage you as you go on and start these new chapters of your life to continue to set the bar high and keep putting us to shame. We love you guys.
Good morning. My name is John Hunneman. I'm here representing State Senator Jeff Stone, who is in Sacramento this morning but would much rather be here. I want to congratulate all the students and their parents. Murrieta is truly a community. We've lived here 31 years now. Both my sons graduated from Murrieta Valley High School. Both of them lost consistently playing football to Vista Murrieta High School. But that's okay. Once again, I want to congratulate you. I'll be brief. This week we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and some of us in this room are old enough to remember when Martin Luther King Jr. was alive, and as a 13-year-old, for some reason, growing up in Irish-Italian community in Massachusetts where we didn't have, there weren't any African-American kids in my town or my high school, but I latched on to Dr. King and was always inspired by his words. And even in the 50 years since he's been gone, he continues to inspire me. So I'll leave you with this. It's one of my favorite quotes. And it seems to fit today with people in our room who aspire to be great people and good at what they do. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth pause to say, "Here lives a great sweeper who did his job well." Thank you, congratulations.
Good morning, my name is Leisha. I'm here on behalf of Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez. Just want to say congratulations to all the January Student of the Months. I know you guys have worked hard to get here. I feel like this is a common theme, but this is one of my favorite events to go to. We do get to meet a lot of great people in the community, but seeing and hearing your guys' stories as such young people, I know you guys are going to continue to do well, and I just want to congratulate you on behalf of Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez.
Good morning. My name is Brenda Denstead, and I'm here today on behalf of our Congressman Ken Calvert, who wants to sincerely congratulate you on everything that you've accomplished at this point. As a mom, this morning is very difficult for me. Mick, you brought problems today. Your Student of the Month is an exact mirror of Leanne. My daughter Leanne was a 2016 graduate from Murrieta Valley High School. And in the start of her sophomore year at Northern Arizona University, she came down with a rare form of bacterial meningitis and passed away. She was an accomplished cross-country runner. She was an IB graduate. And she gave her heart fully and completely. So Peyton, your story resonated strongly with me. And her cross-country family embraced me. It was Fabrice, who was her coach, and her team. And I look at Miss Inouye this morning, and Miss Inouye and I ran in the Rock and Roll Marathon down in San Diego this last June in Leanne's honor with the rest of her cross-country team. So your story really resonated with me this morning. And I can tell you that in Leanne's 19 years on this earth, don't underestimate your passage of time here for the amount of impact that you can have on others. Your age has absolutely zero bearing on what you can do to affect other people's lives. And I would encourage each and every one of you every day to find something that touches and embraces others for the good that they do and the good that you can leave behind because you have acknowledged that. Never lose sight of what is truly important. God bless each and every one of you on your incredible journey. Thank you.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, these breakfasts can be just extremely inspirational and extremely moving. I'd also like to add on this particular morning a little bit dangerous, as I was invited to run in no less than 2 races, and so that's not a very fun thing to be thinking about. I think what really touched me this morning, there were spoken stories, but there you could sense there were many unspoken stories. And I was so impressed with our students today. and what they're bringing to our community and to our world and their futures going forward. But I think what really touched me today, I would like to direct this to the parents of our students. You had some stories, and some were spoken and some were unspoken, and they were extremely powerful. And I sensed there's been great sacrifice, there's been great commitment, there's been great contribution to be able to pour into your child in a very unique way. And no matter where you started that journey, it was such a huge message of hope, possibility, potential resides everywhere. No matter where you begin, that hope and that possibility and that potential is there. So parents, to you, thank you for what you have done and what you have committed and what you have sacrificed over the years to raise up such a fine young man or woman in your life, because they are truly exceptional people. Congratulations, and I'm just so proud of this community, so proud of being superintendent for our school district. Thank you.
Now you all know why the Chamber is so supportive of Sally's amazing program. We'd like to honor you guys with a plaque, and you notice that the Chamber has a budget. We can actually frame it for you. Thank you very much.
Well, we're nearing the end of our program, and it's been such a wonderful program this morning. I'd like to remind all of you that you saw chairs when you were coming in, so we are all going to gather out front afterwards. Students, you'll need to get your backpack, and then we'll all meet out there for pictures, and so that way that can be posted on the website. But we always have Sally close our program every month, and so I would like to invite Sally up to share final words and a moment with Maxwell.
Thank you. I was truly inspired today. I used my napkin several times. I like to take copious notes of everything that you say, and I was really touched today by all of the stories. And Pat, you said it very well, spoken and unspoken stories, and I just felt like I kept reading between the lines today, and really appreciate hearing the fact that you just opened up and you shared from your heart in such an authentic way. I'd like to share a few words that I wrote down about each one of you that were very meaningful to me, and so I'd like to ask Jay to please stand. Mr. Jay, I was very impressed with you, and some of the things that I wrote down about you is that you do the right thing, and you do not compromise that at all. And so your values and your integrity are very clear in a very sweet and very humble way, in a way that I believe really inspires others. And when you were talking about education, how education should be something that all kids can look forward to, and with your enthusiasm and passion for education, those around you, I think, get on that bandwagon with you as well. And I know that as you continue through college and your goals and career, that others are going to come alongside you, and you're going to be a great leader. And so just want to thank you very much for your contribution at this point in this young stage of your life. So thank you very much. Miss Grace, I really related to you a lot in regards to your passions. I love your verse, John 16:33. It is fabulous, and you are a very joyful person, and I just see that just in your smile before you even said a word. Just standing right there and listening to Mr. Roth speak, I could just see the joy. I see your passion of life and passion of others, and that you want to be a military nurse. And it's really interesting when we do leave the country and we go someplace like Haiti, for example, and some of the other countries, and we see those that may not have what we have, and yet they're very happy, and they're also joyful and appreciative when others come. And you had the experience to really learn from that and take captive things that now that you can invest in your life and others around you. So congratulations to you. Mr. Anthony. The words I wrote down for you were hidden gem, the go-to student, blossom, loves to help others, photographer a la guru here today. And so I was very impressed with you as well, because here you may have had some challenges, but yet you are a man of victory today. You stood before us with great confidence, and you may say that, gee, you may not be a great speaker, but you are. And let me tell you why you are, because you are real. You share what is on your heart and your mind. You are also very authentic, and you are sincere. And others see that. You've got a great smile, and I see the enthusiasm, and you're going to bring so many people around you that are going to say, yes, I can do it too. So congratulations to you. And Peyton, I really enjoyed hearing about you and your story and just your family and your involvement in family. And I relate a lot to that because I was raised in a family that worked in the restaurant business, worked along my father of Richie's Diner, who many of you know recently passed away, and my mother. And so I'm very used to being in that family environment, and I can't imagine it being any other way. And so I know what it's like to be on the spotlight, and it is wonderful to have parents that are able to give you freedom, but yet you can still be under their wings and you can grow and still have that disciplined environment. So I really appreciate and admire and respect that. And I love the fact that you have, when I think of cross country, my husband was a cross country runner in high school, and I think of endurance, I think of perseverance, I think of, never giving up, because you're thinking of the long haul. It's not just a short distance, it's a long distance, and you've got to be steadfast in that way. And I see that with you. And we were speaking about just what I really saw in you was your grace and your poise. And I really admired that a lot, and just how you love thinking outside the box, and you have that creative spirit. So congratulations to you. And Jo Ling. Miss Jo Ling, I was very impressed with you. I see you as a very sweet, quiet leader, just full of knowledge, because of all the reading and all the time that you've invested on being the best that you can be, and learning everything that you can, and then taking what you've learned and being able to share it with others, to be able to apply it and help others around you, and not just keeping it for yourself, and really having a great discerning heart on how you can impact others with your knowledge, your experience, and your information. I see you being a great joy and inspiration to others as well. And when I wrote some words about you and just your music, your clarinet, my little 9-year-old granddaughter's learning how to play the flute, and my daughter sent me over a little video of her recital the other day, and it was so off key, but you know what? That's what happens at the very beginning, and I say, don't ever give up. So thank you for staying with that, because those are not easy instruments. So you have perseverance. You're going to stay the fight, and you're going to stay in there. And that is great for others to be able to see that, because when we see others that make this great commitment, and they have to work so hard to get someplace, like all of our students have this morning, you're a great example to others. So thank you very much, and congratulations. We're going to listen to Minute with Maxwell. The word is prosper. He sent it right at the beginning of the new year, so it's really a great word for just thinking about how we want to set ourselves up for the new year. And I queued him up, and we're going to hope that he comes on just as I queued him.
The word today is prosper. Ricky Holm, who is with Worldwide Dream Builders of Amway from San Diego, California, sent it in. And Rocky, I know this organization because I have the privilege every year to speak with Ron Prieur and his wonderful Worldwide Dream Builders organization. And so I love the people that you work with and the people that are on your team. Prosper. What does that word mean? Well, you can look at it in a financial sense and really miss the true meaning of the word. You can say, well, I'm prospering financially, I'm doing well, I'm rich, I've got a lot of money, I've got a lot of possessions. And when people think of being prosperous, I think they think of it usually in kind of financial terms. But I think of it in other terms. Are you prosperous in your health? Are you taking good care of your body? Are you reaching your best potential physically? Are you prosperous in your relationships? Are you rich in relationships? Can I tell you something? If you're rich in relationships, you are stinking rich. When you've got friends that you love unconditionally and that you are loved unconditionally by them, you are a rich, prosperous person. Are you prosperous in ideas? Do you spend a lot of time thinking, creating? Are you always looking for better ways to live, better ways to think, better things to do? Are you prosperous in your thinking time? Do you spend time with it? Now, here's what I know about prosperity. Prosperity is intentional. So if you're prosperous in relationships, it's because you're intentional in building relationships. If you're prosperous in your thinking, it's because you're intentional in setting aside times to think. If you're prosperous in your health, it's because you're taking time to stay healthy. Prosperous is not a position in life, and certainly not position financially. It's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of doing. It's a way of living. So may your life be a prosperous life.
So I want to thank all of our students and families for being so prosperous and sharing with us your wonderful successes, your thinking, your good health, and we just want to thank you so much. So may God richly bless you, and we are going to go out front and take those great pictures. So thank you very much.